and get into a comfortable seat, whatever that means to you. You can sit on your sit bones, up on your shins. You have your legs crossed in front of you. Make sure they're not stacking. Take a moment, take a few deep breaths. Check in with yourself. Check in with your body. Check in with your mind. Do a quick body scan by starting at your toes, scanning up your shins and calves to your knees, thighs, hips, waist, chest, arms, head, and neck. See if there's anything that feels a little bit more stuck, a little bit more sore, maybe something that needs a little bit extra breath. Send your breath there. You can focus on that during class. You can imagine a string pulling you up from the center of your head, nice and tall, creating space between each of the vertebrae. Nice, long, open spine. You can rest your shoulders down your back. The Lunar New Year is next week. We're going from the year of the snake to the year of the horse. So if there's anything you want to shed like a snake skin, it can be emotional, it can be thoughts, it can be feelings, anything you want to get rid of before this new lunar year. Feel like you've got a good idea of what you want to shed today. Start to focus in on your breath. No need to change it. No need to judge it. Just focus in on what it's doing. Breathing from your chest, back of your throat, maybe a low belly breath. Wherever that breath is currently, see if you can move it down to your low belly, down into your diaphragm. Maybe you can feel the belly expand with each inhale. While you're breathing, I want you to imagine an aura around yourself. It looks just like you. Maybe it's clear. Maybe it's just too extended. But just something that's radiating from you close to your body. Each inhale, you should feel that aura get a little bit bigger, a little bit wider at the chest, stretching out in all directions, encompassing you and everything that's directly around you. Inflating this so big that you've inhaled your aura so it fills the whole room. And then if it's inhaled, so it fills your whole building. And then you explode out of the building. Each inhale's making you so big that you're as big as a city block. Then you're as big as your neighborhood and your whole city. Expanding so large you're bigger than the earth itself. And you can just float in space looking at the earth. Looking down, seeing the beautiful oceans, amazing land masses, no political borders, country names, just beautiful earth. Next inhale, I want you to imagine all that bigness, all that hugeness, all that giant person that you are. And I want you to inhale all of it nice and wide. And then on your exhale, I want you to shrink all that back inside. Now you have all that big unstoppableness right inside your heart. Know it's there. It lives inside you. Take a few deep breaths here. When you're ready, you can raise your gaze or open your eyes. We'll start just by stretching our arms above the head, sighing the shoulders down the back, making sure your shoulders aren't eating your ears, tucking those ribs back in, reaching them high, and then just reaching down to one side, placing your hand at the side and stretching over top. Pressing both sit bones down into the ground, sigh that shoulder away from your head and here. From here, if you're able, to take this shoulder down to your knee. And then inhale back up. Bringing your shoulder down to your knee again. Inhaling back up. And one more time like that. And you're exhaling up. And inhaling back up. Reaching one more time over. We'll lift our arms back up into the air. And then exhaling down to the other side, reaching that arm over top. Pressing both sit bones into the ground. Reaching overhead. Sighing that shoulder down, away from the ear. And when you're ready on your next exhale, we'll bring that shoulder down to your knee. Inhaling back up. Exhaling your shoulder down. Inhaling back up. And one more time like that, exhaling down to the and inhaling back up. We'll lift those arms up into the sky again, eyeing them out to the sides. Flexing those palms, reaching your fingers tall if you can. If you can't, you like me, you can make fists or just bend your fingers. And then we'll start just by rotating those arms in your shoulders. Nice, long, straight arms, just rotating in shoulder. I keep wanting to say seat. Shoulder joint. When you've had enough of that, we'll come to stillness, pushing those walls away from you in either direction. You can point your fingertips, and then we'll do a hug, crossing those elbows at the center front and reaching those fingers behind the shoulders. Walking your arms back behind you if that's available to you. Reaching those fingertips behind the shoulder blades, sighing the shoulders down the back. Breathing here. Checking in with your low abdomen. Can you add a little bit of tightening in your low abdomen to add to your balance while you press your sit bones down into the mat? Your next inhale, you can bring your arms nice and wide again. Exhale, cross the opposite arm on top, crossing at the shoulders, walking those fingertips around the shoulder blades if that's available to you. Inhaling here nice and deep, sighing those shoulders away from your ears. Engaging those low abdominal muscles for balance here as you press your sit bones into the mat. On your next inhale, you can make your arms nice and wide. We'll inhale to stretch them up to the top. Then we'll fold forward. No need to round in the back. Just bring your back forward. Nice long spine. Tall, light reaching from the top. On your next exhale, you can fall all the way down, rounding in the back. That feels nice to you. Breathing here in your forward fold, all the way collapse down. Check your sit bones are still pressing into the mat. Can you find space in that low back? Can you find space in the back of your thigh? On your next inhale, you can come back up to a seated position. We'll bring the legs out, stretched in front. Give your knees a little shake out. Maybe point your toes and flex your feet a few times. See if that feels nice to you. Check in with your back. Make sure you're not hunching over like I was. Bend one knee close to your chest. Hug it in nice and tight. Place the foot on the opposite outer edge of the opposite leg. From here, we'll lift the same arm as extended leg up high into the sky. And then exhale as we twist behind and bring that hand back behind us. Lifting the same arm as leg right here. Stretch nice and tall into the sky and even come back into the air a little bit. All right. From here, let's lift both arms into the air again. And then we'll come into our twist, bringing the opposite arm behind you. Bringing the opposite arm as extended leg. The same arm as extended leg to your bent knee, behind that knee, and go to your twist. Twisting to the back of the room. Inhaling, nice long spine. Exhaling to twist. Inhaling, long spine. Exhale, twisting. We'll do one more like that. Inhale, long. Exhale to twist. Inhaling here, and then exhaling, give your knee a little hug, nice and tight to your chest. And then we'll release that leg down, give your knee a little shake out, and we'll bring the opposite one in. Right, same thing, so same arm as extended leg, we're gonna bring behind you. Same arm as bent leg, we're just gonna bring up, just for a nice little bend backwards. You can bend that arm behind you if you're not feeling any stretch in the side here. Then when you're ready, we'll go into our twist, bringing this arm up into the air, nice and tall. Locking it around your bent knee and twisting to the back of the room. Inhaling for a nice long spine, exhaling to twist. Inhale, long spine, exhale, twist. One more like that, inhaling for a long spine, and exhaling to twist to the back of the room. On your next inhale, you can come back, hug that knee into your chest, let it down, give your legs a little cross back and forth. We'll point those, flex those feet and point those toes a few times. Give yourself a nice soft bend in the knee if you like to hyperextend like I do. We're just gonna try folding forward again. The legs are extended out front this time. Pull that spine nice and long into an angle. No need to round in the back. Pull those lower abdominals in for a little bit of stability. And from here, you can go ahead and fold all the way forward, round in the back. Feels nice too. Walk those fingertips back up. This time we're going to come onto our shins. You can come onto your shins with the tops of your feet nice and flat against the mat. And just give yourself a little shake back and forth. Then we'll come forward and tuck those toes under. And then walk your fingertips back. Your hands can be on the mat for a little bit of support, or they can be up on your legs. From here, we're going to grab onto the belly button and pull the body forward. Make any adjustments you may need. Maybe you want your knees a little wider, just for comfort. Imagine there's a string pulling on that belly button and still pulling it a little forward. As you reach your arms forward, one at a time, then reach back to grab onto your heels. One arm at a time. Just graze the back of your heels with your fingertips. If that's not available to you, you can always come down on your bum to your ankles. Breathe in here, shining that chest forward. Imagining your thighs are pushing against the wall in front of you. And when you're ready, we'll release one arm at a time. Back down to the mat, and we'll come into our tabletop pose. You can put the tops of the toes onto the mat, maybe shake your ankles back and forth. You can also lift your knees off the mat if you want to press the tops of the toes down into the mat. All right. Starting with our tabletop poses. Get into your, before we head into your cat cows, make a nice neutral line with your spine. And we'll start with just by tucking and tilting the tailbone. Just a nice simple movement. No need to involve the rest of the body. I'm having a hard time not involving the rest of the body, so if you'd like to just tilt and tuck the pelvis a few times. And then when you're ready, we'll drop those udders down. Feel a pulling in your belly because you drop those udders down and they're just so heavy. And you're shining that chest forward, almost reaching through your arms so high that you found a new bit of space in between the chest and the belly button. Do a few rounds of breath here, pressing that mat away from you, not falling into those shoulder blades. Heels are pointed towards the sky. Hip bones are pointed towards the ceiling. On your next exhale, we're gonna round in the back. Bring that belly button towards the spine. Bring your fingertips to the mat and tuck those back toes under again. Come into our cat pose. Check in with your glutes. Make sure you're not holding any tension there. Check in with your jaw. A few breaths in a cat. The same idea where your head is so heavy. Let's drop down. Excuse me. And there's so much space between your tailbone and the top of your neck that you've grown a hole in. Your next inhale, go ahead and come back to the tops of the feet. Drop those palms back down. Drop your udders down. Shine that chest forward. Out pose. Pressing the ground away from you. Coming into a cat pose. Sucking those toes under. Coming up on the tips of those fingers. Inhaling for cow. Exhaling for cat. Inhaling for cow. And exhaling for cat. You can continue to do this motion at your own pace, linking your breath to each movement. You can do seated or at a tabletop, just bending that spine, opening up that back, feeling nice and spacious between each vertebrae. You begin to make S and C curves in your spine. You can treat your spine like a jump rope. Make sure you go both directions. When you're ready, we'll come to stillness for a nice neutral spine. Grabbing a block or a ball or a prop, or just keeping your knee at a 90-degree angle. We're going to lift the leg back in space. Try to come up to a 90-degree angle. Try to keep one nice line, excuse me, through your back. My leg wants to go out to the side, so we're going to take one nice line to the back, nice 90-degree angle. Pressing the ground away from you from your hands. Exhale that leg back down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. We'll inhale back up one more time. Make sure those hips are nice and straight and aligned. Horizontal to the ground. And we'll just bounce for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling that leg back down. We'll reach it out to the side for fire hydrants. See if you can make a nice straight line. Leaving your hips where they are, just lifting your leg into the air. Exhaling back down. Inhaling up. Exhaling back. Inhaling up. Exhaling back down. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Inhaling up. And exhaling. Inhaling up one more time and bouncing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can release any props you may have. Extend that leg out behind you. Make any adjustments you may need for balance. And lift that leg so it's just about an inch off the ground. Point your toe. And we'll inhale that leg up as high as you'd like and exhale back. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. We'll inhale up one more time and bounce for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling that leg back down to the mat. Bringing any prop you may have to that left leg, or sorry, the opposite leg, wherever you work. Bring a nice strong right leg Flexing that back foot and lifting that leg into the air. Nice right angle. Hips are horizontal with the ground. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling back up. Exhaling down. Inhaling back up. And exhaling down. Inhaling back up. Bouncing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing that leg back down. Sorry, Bob. Sorry, Chloe. Ooh, what have improved? All right. This is putting your prop in place and getting ready. We'll lift that opposite leg out to the side for fire hydrants. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling back down. Extending that leg out, dropping whatever prop you may have. Any adjustments you may need. Lifting that back leg up about an inch, pointing the toe, and we'll lift up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bounce for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing that knee back down to the mat so you're in your neutral tabletop. Pressing your fingers down to the mat. Tucking those back toes under. And pressing back to down dog. Doing a few pedals throughout the foot and down dog. We're gonna roll forward. Pressing that ground away from you in your plank pose. I want you to drop your knees back down. You're back in your tabletop pose. Go through this again and notice if you can keep your hands and feet exactly where they are. So you're in tabletop, tucking those back toes under to press up to downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank and dropping your knees down. In your in your tabletop pose, pressing that ground away from you, we're gonna lift the left hand into the air for a nice gentle twist. Imagine you're wringing out your midsection like a towel. Let's hang it out. From here, we're gonna exhale. We're gonna put the outer edge of the shoulder down onto the mat. Extend the opposite hand and foot in either direction. And breathe here. Exhale, bring your hand back to the mat. Pressing the ground away from you. Back into your twist. From here, we're going to take the same leg as arm in the air, bring it out to the side. So you feel like you're in a nice supported plank, side plank, nice supported side plank. Exhaling that arm back down. We're going to bring that leg back. Inhaling the opposite arm in the air for a nice gentle twist. Bringing out that midsection. Exhaling, bringing that outer edge of the shoulder down to the mat. Extending your arm and leg in either direction. Exhaling back down. Bringing that arm back up in space. And exhaling back down to your table. Leaving that arm in space. Bringing your leg over and getting the supported side plank. Very supported side plank. Exhaling back to your tabletop pose. You can put yourself down into child's pose. You can take a few cat cows. You can move your wrists out. I'm going to have a drink of water. Okay, perfect. Alright. Placing your hands onto the mat, coming back into your tabletop pose, tucking those back toes under, pressing back to downward facing dog. Make any adjustments you may need here. And pedal out through the feet. On your next inhale, we'll lift the heels into the air and exhale them back down onto the mat. On your next inhale, we'll lift the right leg into the air for three-legged dog. Open up the hips. Drop that back leg down if you'd like. Lifting the opposite arm and coming into rock star pose. 5 breaths wherever you want. Checking in on the heel and the standing leg. Holding it down to the ground. And your next exhale, we'll come back to our downward facing dog. Next inhale, we'll lift that opposite leg into the air for three-legged dog. Bend the knee and open those hips up. Drop that leg back down behind you if you'd like. You can bring the opposite arm into the air for rock star pose. Dropping that standing leg heel down. On your next breath, you can bring your feet back to your downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank pose. Breathing a few breaths in plank. From here, we'll drop the right leg down. Open up the left leg. Lift the left arm into the air. Option to slide that right leg up. Come into a side plank. Exhaling down. Coming back into your downward facing dog. We'll roll forward to plank again. Breathing here. Pulling your heels back towards the back of the room. We'll drop that left leg down now. Open up that right leg. Come into your supported side plank. Option to slide that leg down and come into a side. I'm gonna leave them stomach. Exhale back down. Press yourself back to downward facing dog. Give your hips a little shake out here. Take a few breaths. And when you're ready, you can hop or step forward to a forward fold at the front of the mat. Standing in your forward fold, your knees can be bent as much or as little as you'd like. Like you can sway to and fro, left and right. Sway backwards and forwards. Imagine the top half of your skull is melting down towards the ground, while the bottom half of your body is grounded. That same ground. You're ready, we'll gently roll up to stand. We're standing in a mountain pose at the front of the mat. From here, we'll just do a few tucks and tilts of the tailbone. Feel nice and open in the hips. When you've had enough of that, we'll do some left and right, side to side. When you're ready, we'll put them all together, going one to the right, then to the front, left side, back, right, front, back. A nice diamond motion. Make sure you go both directions. And when you're done with your diamond motion, you turn it to a nice, smooth circle. Maybe coming out to an exaggerate. Maybe it feels nice in your hips. Maybe you found a spot on the loop that you want to make a little bit longer, a little bit shallower. You go ahead and do that. Make sure you go in both directions. If you've got a lot of motion in your knees, maybe bring your knees in real small and concentrate that movement just in your hip. And then if you've got that movement just in your hips, maybe bring your knees into it so you got a nice big circle. We feel all nice and loosey-goosey in our hips. We can come to a nice mountain pose, pressing those feet into the ground. Inhaling your arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. And folding forward for Uttanasana. This time, when you fold forward, you imagine there is a clothesline at your belly button, and the top half of you and the bottom half of you are draped over that clothesline, maybe reaching towards the same ground. Maybe you're folded a little bit more deeply this time. Maybe your knees are a little left bent. And you can sway back and forth, to and fro. Feel all four corners of the bottoms of your feet. You can repeat the same circular motion in your hips, but now in a forward fold. When you're ready to go to stillness, we'll place one hand on the mat, lifting the opposite into the air. Same knee as arm on the hand on the mat can bend. Reaching that hand up to the sky. Exhaling that hand back down to the mat. And lifting the opposite hand into the sky. Exhaling both hands down. This time you can place your hands about hips width distance on the mat or shoulder width distance and step back. So you're in a plank pose. No, 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 no. Exhaling back to a downward facing dog. Your hips a little shake. Pedal out through your feet here. You can try to tilt and tuck your hips in downward facing dog. See if you can tilt your hips back and get a little bit extra space, maybe in the back of the thighs. From here, we'll roll forward to our plank pose. Exhale back to down dog. And come for step forward, so your forward fold at the front of the mat. Breathing here. Placing your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward. And inhaling to gently roll up to stand, placing each vertebrae on top of the previous one. Begin a deep breath in mountain pose. Inhaling your arms up. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands and step back to a plank pose. Pressing back to downward facing dog, give your hips a little shake out. Inhaling forward to plank pose. Here we'll lower the knees, chest and chin. Inhale for low cobra, upward facing dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Nice deep breath in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forwards. You're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhaling, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhaling, folding forward. And inhaling to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat, giving your knees a little shake out. Inhale the arms above the head for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling to fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Pressing back to downward facing dog. Run through your vinyasa or roll forward to plank, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for low cobra, upward facing dog. Pressing back. Few breaths in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hump or step forwards. You're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Lifting your hands up to your shins, nice long flat back. Exhaling down and inhaling up for mountain pose. On your next inhales, bring the arms up to the sky for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Run through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Press back to a down dog. Few breaths in downward facing dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. Turn a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, you can place your hands on your shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. And inhale to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhaling your arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling to fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Run through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. And press back to a down. Few breaths in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward, sort of forward fold at the front of the mat. Hands on shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward and inhale to gently roll up to a standing position. Standing in mountain pose, we'll inhale the arms above your head. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on chins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Go ahead and go through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the back, pressing up for a downward facing dog. Pressing back, way down. Down dog. Oh. Breathing in downward facing dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. Turn a forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, you can gently roll up to stand. Come into a mountain pose at the front of the mat. All right. Sort of. All right, starting with a mountain pose at the front of the mat. Check in with all four corners of the feet. Make sure you feel nice and balanced there. From here, if you would like, you can heel toe your feet together for chair pose. If you like to keep your feet apart, you most certainly can. We'll inhale the arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale the arms forward for chair pose. Hugging that tailbone under, not tilting it back. Sitting back in the chair, pressing those hands. From here, we'll fold forward. Plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Lower your knees, chest, and chin, run through your vinyasa. Inhale up for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Pressing back to a down dog. From here, we'll lift the right leg into the air for a three-legged dog. Bend the knees, swing the leg forward, help it if you need to. We'll come into a nice sturdy lunge, low lunge here. From here, we'll lower that back knee down, press the top of the foot into the mat. Feel your heel and knee reaching towards each other as we lift the body up into the air and shine the chest towards the ceiling. Engage your thumbs for a gentle back bend. Hopefully you can feel the stretch in the front of your thigh here. Exhale, we'll come forward to frame that front foot. We'll kick that back foot back and kick it up about 12 to 18 inches so you can get both heels on the mat. From here, we'll reach that forehead towards the shin. We'll come into a runner's stretch. From here, you can kick both feet back. Turn your downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank and run through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Pressing back to down dog. Take a few breaths in downward facing dog. Or one breath rather. We'll lift the left leg into the air for legged dog. Bend that knee, swing that hip forward, help it if you need to. You're in a nice sturdy low lunge. Here we're going to drop that back knee down. Feel that scissoring action between your heel and your knee for stability. As we lift the head, neck, and chest into the air. Shining that chest towards the ceiling, gazing at your thumbs for a gentle back bend. Feeling that stretch in the front of your belly. How about that? From here, you can exhale to frame that front foot. Lift that back foot up and kick it forward about 12 inches, 18 inches, whatever you need. So you have both heels on the ground. Here you can kick both feet back in your plank pose. Run through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Press back, look down dog. Take a few breaths in downward facing dog. When you're ready to hop or step forward, so you forward fold at the front of the mat. When you're ready, you can gently roll up to stand. So you're in a mountain pose at the front of the mat. Standing in mountain pose. Go ahead and inhale your arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, coming down to chair pose. Big inhale here. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back. Plank pose. So through your vinyasa or lower your knees. Chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a look over or upward facing dog. And press back to a down. On your next inhale, we'll lift the right leg into the air for three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, swing the foot forward, help it if you need to. Rotate your back heel down. No, come on. We're gonna feel a nice, sturdy, low lunge here. And we're gonna lift the head, neck, and chest off the mat. Come into your warrior one. Hips are still bent. Hips are facing the front of the room. On your next exhale, release your arms down. We're going to interlace your hands behind your back. Forward to humble warrior, bringing that shoulder to your knee. Your next inhale will bring the head, neck, and chest. Your knee rest if you like. We'll give the head, neck, and chest into the air for warrior one. Exhale down to frame that front foot. Kick that front foot back to meet the back for downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank or through your vinyasa or lower your knees. Chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Pressing back to a down dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift the left leg into the air for three-legged dog. Bend that knee, swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. From here, we're going to lift the head, neck, and chest off the mat and come into your warrior one. Off your leg. Hips are pointed towards the front of the room. Back heel is reaching towards the mat. On your next exhale, you can bring your hands behind you. And release your fingers behind you, weird thumb on top. Reach down, bring that shoulder down to your breathe in. On your next inhale, bring that head, neck, and chest back up into the air for warrior one. Exhale down to frame that front foot. Set front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to that. Inhale for low cobra, upward facing dog. And pressing back to a down dog. Breaths and down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Give your hips a little shake out here. And on your next inhale, we'll gently roll up to a standing position. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. We'll go ahead and lift the arms into the air. Exhale down for chair pose. From here, you can bring your hands to heart center, and we'll go ahead and hook one of your elbows to the opposite knee and come into a chair pose twist. Bringing out that midsection like a towel, pressing the palms against each other. On your next inhale, bring the hands back forward. Exhale to the other side. Inhaling back to center, exhaling forward into a forward fold. From here, you can plant your hands and step back to your plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for low cobra, upward facing dog. Pressing back to a down dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift the right leg into the air for a three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knees, swing the leg forward. Help it if you need to. Rotate that back heel down. Bring a nice, strong right angle in that front knee as we windmill the arms up for warrior two. Arms are reaching in either direction. Outer edge of that back foot is glued to the mat. You can reach that palm forward, back to reverse your warrior. Your next exhale will come back to warrior two. Straighten that front knee and come forward and down for triangle. And next inhale, you can come back to warrior two. And then exhale down to side angle pose. Here you can windmill your arms down to frame that front foot back to meet the back. Plank pose, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. And press back to down dog. Next inhale, we'll bring that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend the knees, swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. Nice sturdy low lunge here. We'll rotate that back heel down. If you're like me, make sure you're not hyperextending that back knee. Got a nice slight bend, but you do want to make sure the outer edge of that back foot is glued to the mat. Inhale up for warrior one. And exhale out for warrior two. Arms are in either direction here. And next inhale, we'll press that. We'll bring that palm forward and then back. Reverse your warrior. And go ahead and straighten that front knee. Reach forward and then down for triangle pose. On your next inhale, we'll come up for warrior two. And then exhale down to side angle pose. Your next exhale, you can frame that front foot with your hands. Get that front foot back to meet the back for downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank, run through your vinyasa or lower your knees. Chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Press back to downward dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. Turn a forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, you can give your hips a little shake it up. And we'll gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. We'll inhale the arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale into chair pose. Sitting back. Nice deep breath here. We'll exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands and step back. Plank pose. Go through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Pressing back to down dog. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale and bring that foot forward. Help it if you need to. Rotate that back heel down, and we're going to windmill the arms up for warrior two. Palm forward and then back. Reverse your warrior. Warrior two. Straighten that front knee, come down for triangle pose. Back to warrior two, and down to side angle pose. From here, we'll windmill the arms down, so we're in a wide-legged forward fold on the side of the mat. Take those fingers and walk them back behind you. Give yourself a little bit deeper of a forward fold. And then when you're ready, we'll walk those fingertips forward and then heel toe your feet together so you can keep your heels on the mat while you come into a squat. Just whatever distance that is. Heels on the mat, come into a squat. Pressing those thumbs back in the air, we'll walk the fingertips over back to the side of the mat. Step back for our plank pose. Go through your vinyasa or lower your knee. Chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for low cobra, upward facing dog. Press back to a down dog. Breathing in downward facing dog. Almost, yeah, half out. We're gonna lift the left leg in the air. Three-legged dog. Bend the knees, swing the foot forward. Help it if you need to. We're gonna drop that back heel down. And when you're ready, we'll windmill the arms up for warrior two. Flip that palm forward and then back to reverse your warrior. Come back to warrior two. Straighten that front knee and come down to triangle. Inhaling back up to warrior two. We'll come down to side angle. From here, we'll windmill the arms down, so we're back in our wide-legged forward fold at the side of the mat. This time, we're going to heel toe the feet together as close as you want. Come into whatever kind of squat you want. You'll notice my heels come about 2 inches off. Your next exhale, you can release your hands down, press your bum back up, come over to your plank pose on the side of your mat. We'll drop the knees, chest and chin, or vinyasa, rolling forward for an upward facing dog or cobra, and pressing back to down dog. On your next exhale, we'll hop or step forward to a forward fold at the front of the mat. Give your hips a little shake out here. And when you're ready, we'll gently roll up to stand. We're standing in a mountain pose at the front of the mat. All right. Next, we'll come into our balancing poses. So if you'd like to come into a tree, make sure the bottoms of the feet are all woken up. All 4 corners of the feet are nice and awake. Pressing that foot into the ground, you can kickstand the heel against the ankle. You can press your foot against the calf, or you can bring your heel into the inner thigh. Hands can be at heart center. They can be branches blowing in the breeze. They can be on your hips. It can be wherever you want. You can pick a non-moving position point to stare at to help you balance. We'll do about 8 to 10 good breaths here. Release your foot from your leg. Bring your knee forward. Straighten out the leg. Bring that foot a little higher, maybe a little higher, maybe a little higher, and let it go. You can give your standing leg a massage on that outer, on that outer muscle. If you feel a little shakeout, then we'll switch to the other side. Again, you kickstand that heel against the ankle. Place your foot on your calf or bring that heel into your inner thigh. Hands can be at your heart center, on your hips, or branches blowing in the breeze. Breathing here for 8 to 10 good breaths. When you're ready, you can remove that foot from your leg, bring that knee forward, stretch out the leg, maybe a little higher, maybe a little higher, maybe a little higher, and let it go. We'll come back to our mountain pose at the front of the mat. Take a deep breath here in mountain pose. We'll lift the arms in the air for Urdhva Hasana. Exhale to fold forward, plant the hands, step back to plank pose. Optional vinyasa here. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Pressing back to a down dog. Lifting that right leg into the air for three-legged dog. Bending your knee and swinging that shin forward, getting set up for pigeon pose. Make sure your back leg is straight back behind you like a pin. Your hip and your heel can line up if you like. Give yourself any support you may need. Lift your chest into the air and then come down for pigeon pose. Next breath, you can bring your head, neck, and chest up. Props you may have. Back into your tabletop pose. Maybe give your hips a little shake out here. Press back into downward facing dog. Last vinyasa, optional as always. Rolling forward to plank, lowering your knees, chest, chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Pressing back to a down. Lifting that left leg in the air, the send for three-legged dog. Bending that knee, swinging that shin forward, helping it if you need to. Giving yourself any support you may need. Lifting the head, neck, and chest into the air and settling down for pigeon pose. On your next inhale, you can lift your head, neck, and chest into the air. Come into your tabletop pose. Give your hips a little shake out. Press yourself into big plank pose and then come down to the mat in one line. Rolling over onto your backs. We'll start just by windshield swipe, bring out the knees back and forth. Feet can be as wide as the mat. And then we'll just hug the knees into the chest. Sorry, baby. Hug the knees into the chest. Nice and tight. Give yourself a little roll back and forth. You can bring your knees into a circle and give yourself a nice little back massage. Make sure you go both directions. And then from here, we're going to come into a gentle inversion. Lift your legs in the air if you'd like. You can support yourself with your hands and come to a supported shoulder stand. You can put a block beneath your sacrum. Lift your legs in the air that way. And do legs up the wall. Just legs in the air. Just set back a few breaths. Your feet above your heart. When you're ready, you can release your feet back down to the mat. Place your feet so they're about hips width distance apart or wider. Your heels, you can just about graze them with your fingertips. From here, we'll do a couple of tucks and tilts with your pelvis just to warm up. And when you're ready to come into a bridge, you can tilt that pelvis under, lift it all the way up into the air. And rotate those shoulder blades underneath you and release your hands behind your back. Come into a bridge pose. 3 to 5 good breaths here. If you'd like a supported bridge pose, you can always put a block under your sacrum. When you're ready, you can release your hands, release your shoulder blades, release your spine back down to the mat. A windshield wiper out those knees back and forth a few times. When you're ready, you can tuck that pelvis under, lift your hips into the air, reach that chest towards your chin, and come into a bridge pose. Bring those shoulder blades underneath you and release your hands back behind you. Breathe here. Release your hands, release your shoulder blades from underneath you. Release your spine back down to the mat. Windshield wiper out those knees. When you're ready, we'll do one more bridge pose, tilting that pelvis up. Tilting up, tucking that pelvis under. Jesus. Lifting those hips up and reaching that chest towards your chin. Really bring those shoulder blades underneath you and release your hands back behind your back. Release your hands, release your shoulder blades, release your spine back down to the mat. You can windshield wiper out those knees back and forth a few times. Bring your knees to stillness. We'll take that right knee, lift it in nice and close to you. And we'll place the right ankle over the left knee. Lift that left leg up in space for figure 4. From here, we'll grab the back of the thigh and press that right knee away from you with your elbow. Breathing here, see if you can find maybe a little sore, stuck space that maybe needs a little bit more breath. You can rotate, rock back and forth. You might find a really nice tight spot. Then when you're ready, we're going to take our hands and grab the right leg. Take the left hand on the outside of the foot, right hand on the outside of the knee. Drop that left leg down and we'll just hold the right leg like a baby. From here, we'll take the same hand as foot, place it on the outer edge of that foot, and just stretch it out to the side. Knee can be bent as much as you'd like. If you don't feel comfortable grabbing your foot, you can always grab your ankle and stretch your leg out, or your calf and stretch your leg out a little bit more. Maybe unbend that knee a little bit. Pulling it out to the side. And we're gonna take it, pass it into the opposite hand and reach it across the body. Hips still touching the ground. Both hips still on the mat. Just reaching that leg across the body. Oh. And reaching back to the hand, nice and wide. Bring it out as high as one. Then we'll bring both knees back into the chest for a nice little hug. And then drop them onto the right side for your gentle twist. And your next inhale, you can bring your knees back, chest, rock back and forth a couple times. This time we'll drop the right knee down onto the mat. We'll take that left ankle to the right knee, lift that right knee back into space. Grab the back of your thigh with your hands and press that elbow away from you. Press that knee away from you with your elbow. Both feet should be flexed here. You can rock back and forth until you find a place that's maybe a little bit more stuck or sore, a little bit more painful, that could use the stretch here. Release your hands from your thigh. We'll put the left arm on the outside of the knee, right hand on the outside of the foot, and drop that right leg down. Just hold your leg nice and close to your body like a baby. When you're ready, we'll take the same hand as leg, grab the outer edge of the foot, and open up the leg, keeping that knee bent. Or if you'd like, you can always grab somewhere else on the leg, unbend your knee a little bit, and open it up to the side. Here you can swap that to the opposite hand, and just stretch the foot across the body, keeping both hips on the mat. Bring it to the opposite hand again, opening up the legs inside. When you're ready, we'll bring both knees into the chest nice and tight. And drop them to the left side for a gentle twist. Okay, next inhale, bring the knees back to the chest, nice and tight. Hey, no. Reach for the instep of your feet and we'll come into a happy baby. Rock back and forth. You can play with bending and unbending your knees here. Whatever you like. When you're ready, you can release your hands from your feet. Release your legs down and come into your final resting. Begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. Start to make small movements in your fingers and toes. You're ready, you can roll onto one side. Using your arms a pillow, take one breath in the fetal position. Using that same slow quality of movement, up to a gentle sit. We'll close with one Om. Bring your hands somewhere center for Om. Inhaling once. Inhaling for Om. Namaste.